How do I clear error codes on my coin-operated Maytag front-load washer? It is currently displaying an F28 error code, but the recommended tests are fine. Please help.
May I get your unit's model number to better assist you? If you open the door, it will be on the face frame of the unit.
The model is a MA22PDBWW0. It was working fine, so I'm sure it's not a polarity fault, but my wife washed some shoes and that error code came up. I also did the continuity test between the MCU and CCU and that was fine. I tried entering the service code numbers to clear the code but it didn't respond.
The communication between the central control unit, CCU, and the motor control unit, MCU, has failed. Possible causes: reversed polarity or miswire along with open ground switch S. Communication cable from CCU, MI3, to MCU is damaged. Procedure for reversed polarity or miswire 1. Clear error code. 2. Unplug washer or disconnect power. 3. Check the white wire on the RFI filter to ensure correct polarity. White wire needs to be toward front of washer. 4. Check outlet for correct polarity. To check within washer for polarity at the RFI, white to cabinet ground must be 0 volts. 5. Check that the ground switches of the toe panel and rear panel are correctly closed. If switches are good, replace the CCU. Here is a link to the part per the tech sheet. Mounted in the top right rear corner of the unit.
As per your recommendation, how do I clear the error code as per step 1?
You would normally press cancel, but if you have an issue with the interface, cancel button may not work.
Where is the cancel button? Does the service code clear the error, and how would I input it? Relist, other. I tried the suggestions that my expert has recommended before he gave them to me.
Hello, I am an authorized Maytag, Whirlpool service tech and I can help you today. Attached is the service manual. Please reference pages 3 to 18 and 3 to 19 for step to clear fault codes after entering into diagnostic mode. I know that this is not the same model as your machine, but Maytag hasn't changed as much and the steps should still work for your model. If you have any other questions or if you have trouble clearing the codes, please email me back and I will walk you through it.
Thank you, John. In the service manual that came with the machine, when I enter into the help mode, I get through help codes 1, 2, and 3, great by pressing delegates and nits. However, as I continue through the sub-menu, the next codes are the error history codes which come up 1. F28, 2. F28, 3. F28, and 4. F28. No button that I press in any of those menus clears the codes. The remaining menu codes, however, all seem fine. As you are aware, the F28 code is apparently a communication failure between the CCU and MCU. The washer was working great before my wife put shoes in the washer and the error code came up. I assume then that it's not a polarity issue as the washer was working. I did the continuity test between the CCU and MCU and all was well. I called my sales rep and he believes that shoes may have caused a bogus failure, which makes a bit of sense as the machines are relatively new and I wouldn't assume that the MCU or CCU would have failed already. He told me to input the service access code is found in the service manual, which includes pressing 2 for 2 seconds, then 1 and 3 together, 1 and 2 together, 2 and 3 together, then 2, and 3, 2, 1, 3, and that would clear it, but nothing that should have happened did. I would like to send you a copy of the manual that was provided, but this website won't allow me.
You could send me a copy to my email at. The error code should be cleared by doing the procedure on page 318 and 19 on the above service manual. If it doesn't, I would unplug machine or reset the breaker for about 10 minutes, then try again.
The following are references out of the service manual. I will email the complete manual for your reference. F28 Communication failure between CCU and MCU. The communication between the central control unit, CCU, and the motor control unit, MCU, has failed. Possible causes: reverse polarity or miswire along with open ground switch S. Communication cable from CCU, MI3, to MCU is damaged. Procedure for reversed polarity or miswire 1. Clear error code. 2. Unplug washer or disconnect power. 3. Check the white wire on the RFI filter to ensure correct polarity. White wire needs to be toward front of washer. 4. Check outlet for correct polarity. To check within washer for polarity at the RFI, white to cabinet ground must be 0 volts. 5. Check that the ground switches of the toe panel and rear panel are correctly closed. Procedure for communication cable 1. Clear error code. 2. Unplug the washer or disconnect power. 3. Perform continuity test on wire harness connections from CCU, MI3, to MCU. Be careful not to spread the ROST connector ends. 4. Verify the drive motor operation in diagnostic mode. If drum fails to tumble, replace the MCU. D21F27 Service Access Code. This code can be entered to access service mode without removing the console. It only functions on washers set up for zero vend price without any special pricing setup, and the coin/debit option must be set to J._D. If the washer is not in failure mode, the door must be open to proceed. Service access code contains 6 steps and some are timed. Using only the 3 bottom buttons, numbered 1, 2, and 3 from left to right. 1. Press 2 for longer than 2 seconds but less than 10 seconds. 2. Press 1 and 3 together for 2 seconds, then release. Displays S3. 3. Press 1 and 2 together, then release. Displays S4. 4. Press 2 and 3 together, then release. Displays S5. 5. Press 2, then release. Display shows code. 6. Wait at least 2 seconds, but not more than 15 seconds, then press in succession 3, 2, 1, 3. Note: if the service access code procedure is not completed properly, as noted above, there is a 15 seconds delay before it can be attempted again. There are 3 options to exit from the service mode. 1. From setup code 8, press key number 1 for 4 seconds. 2. Wait 2 minutes without touching any keypads, without diagnostic modes running. 3. Power down the washer, then reapply power. Help mode submenu. This submenu consists of 15 steps. To change to the next step, press the Willens key. To exit help mode and return to setup mode or DOS mode, press permanent press key. 1 hour. 20 help code 1, where 20 is the help code number. 2 hours. 20 help code 2, where 20 is the help code number. 3 hours. 20 help code 3, where 20 is the help code number. 1. X hash history code 1, where X is the F or D code, and 20 is the code number. 2. X hash history code 2, where X is the F or D code, and 20 is the code number. 3. X hash history code 3, where X is the F or D code, and 20 is the code number. 4. X hash history code 4, where X is the F or D code, and 20 is the code number.
In what I am reading here, while in diagnostic mode, when accessing error codes displayed, press delicate and nits buttons to clear the codes. It has to be done within 5 seconds of seeing the codes in the display though. If this doesn't work, definitely send me the manual to my email address and I will take a look at it. I will also call into my personal tech support number and get the specific procedure for the clear. Thanks.
John, I've sent the manual to your email address for your review. I tried pressing delicates and nits within 5 seconds while in the help mode but no luck. When and in what mode would the service access code work, and what would it do? Jamal.
I will take a look at the manual and call into tech support tomorrow and get back to you after I do. And then we can go over the process. What time are you available tomorrow? I am usually logged on in the evenings after 8 p.m. Est. If that doesn't work for you, I will post me answer in procedure, and if you have any questions, you can post back when you are free. Please get back to me with your availability so we can get the codes cleared on your machine. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
I will be available today. You can contact me between 8:30 New York time. Talk to you then.
I am ready when you are.
I'm ready. I think the MCU is the problem.
Yes, I think so too. I called tech services today and went over a few things. We are both in agreement that if the error code cancellation procedure is followed in the manual correctly, and the error codes are not being cleared and the machine check fine during diagnostic check, then the computer is not recognizing the reset and is faulty. The electronic control board, which is the main machine control, is part number W102695538 and is around $100. And can be ordered at www.marconi.com or www.searspartsdirect.com or www.repairclinic.com. If you are sure that you have followed the steps correctly for clearing the error codes and the codes are not clearing, then I would order this board. If you have any trouble ordering the board from these websites, please let me know and I will help you. And when the part arrive, if you need my help installing the part, please feel free to email me back here and I will walk you through the install step by step. I will also see if there is a video online that we can reference for your help. Thanks again. Let me know how it goes.
Thanks for the help. You mentioned the electronic control board as the fault, but I believe it's the motor control board. Can you confirm it's the motor control, and not the central/electronic control?
It is definitely the machine control board, what is referred to as the Q board, not the interface or motor control board. If you have checked the connections on both the motor board and the Q board, then the only board that would allow the non-cancellation of the error codes would be the Q or main machine control board. That is the part number I listed above. The motor control board for this machine has nothing to do with the error codes being stored on this machine.
Here are the reasons I think it's the motor control. The F28 error code is a communication error between the central control and motor control. Maytag commercial service tech said the code clears when you go into setup mode and you run a diagnostic test. The error code will reappear if the error hasn't been rectified. When the washer tries to run the test, the washer display shows as if it's entered the test, but after a few minutes the error code comes back up. Additionally, I measured the voltage at the central control unit and get 120 volts. The power wire to the motor also has 120 volts, meaning the motor control is getting the correct voltage, yet the motor doesn't engage. The ohms at the motor are correct, and the communication cable all show good continuity. All other features connected to the central control are all working well.
If the motor and CCU board both have 120V, that just shows that there is voltage present, doesn't mean that it will work. If you read the manual again, it will tell you to replace the CCU board if connections are made and still getting error. I have spoken to tech services too, and we have both agreed that the problem lies in the CCU board, which is the original question of clearing the error codes. As far as for the error code, I thought that you had said that you ran through diagnostics and the machine ran fine without any codes. Is that correct, or did you run the diagnostics and the F28 comes back up on the display? If the error codes is still present when running tests and machine will not function, then yes, after checking connections to the MCU and CCU boards, then I would replace the MCU board. But I thought you had said that the machine was working fine, just always displaying the F28 in display.
Maybe there was a misunderstanding. The machine in general was working fine. Then during a load, with sneakers in the layout, the F28 error displayed. My sales rep said that there was a possibility that the sneakers in the wash caused a bogus error code, and the machine simply needed to have the code cleared, thus my original question of how to clear the error code. However, after thoroughly working on the machine, asking every conceivable question, and doing every possible test, I believe the MCU needs to be changed. Additionally, the error code seems to display where and when it's supposed to, according to the service manual, leading me to believe that the CCU is operating correctly. Thank you for all your help. I have two machines, so I'm gonna switch out the good MCU and CCU with the faulty one and see if either rectifies the problem.
No problem. Please let me know what happens. I advise doing one at a time and checking after each one is installed to find out exactly was the problem. Let me know if you need anything else.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert, now visit justanswer.com/ythi.